bore them with the details, Cousin Eddie says. Knowing glances and conspiratorial smirks travel among the cousins. Anyway, Carrie starts up again, hushing them. So we hear this, whatever it is. Tony's driving, and your mom, he says, gesturing his glass at us kids, is standing in front of the freezer with a bong over her head like she's about to beat a raccoon to death or something. My mind is far, far away from this ridiculous anecdote, jumbled and twisted with thoughts of my mother. She spent weeks lying in bed, preparing to die. Her last wish was for her only daughter to find out she was sick at the last possible moment. Even my brothers were forbidden from being at her bedside in the slow, agonizing slip into her final days. Mom preferring, as always, to suffer in silence while keeping her children at a distance. On the surface, it might seem she did it for the benefit of her kids, but I suspect it was for her own sake. She wanted to avoid all those emotional, intimate moments that her impending death would no doubt trigger, the same way she avoided those moments in life. In the end, she was relieved to have an excuse not to act like our mother. None of us want to open the freezer, and someone's shouting at Tony to pull over, but he's freaking out because he sees a cop a few cars behind us. And oh yeah, it occurs to us we're carrying contraband across state lines, so... And I can forgive her. Until her last breath, she was herself, never pretending to be anything else. Since we were kids, she'd made it clear she wasn't particularly interested in us, so we never expected much. My dad and brothers, though, they should have told me about her illness. How do you keep something like that from your child, your sister? Even if I was living 100 miles away. They should have told me, damn it. There might have been things I wanted to say to her, if I'd had the time to think about it more. Finally, Lori tells me, you're gonna flip open the lid, and we're gonna throw open the side door, and Tony is gonna slow down enough to kick whatever it is out onto the shoulder of the road. Chuckles break out from the crowd. So we count to 3, I close my eyes, and I throw open the lid, expecting fur and claws to leap for my face. Instead, we see some dude in there asleep. He wandered in who knows when. Somewhere back in Myrtle Beach, maybe. Just curled up and took a nap. This isn't how I pictured coming back to Avalon Bay. The house I grew up in, crowded with mourners, flower arrangements and sympathy cards on every table. We left the funeral hours ago, but I guess these things follow you. For days, weeks, never knowing when it's acceptable to say, okay, enough. Go back to your lives and let me go back to mine. How do you even throw out a 3-foot flower heart? As Carrie's story winds down, my dad taps me on the shoulder and nods toward the hallway, pulling me aside. He's wearing a suit for maybe the 3rd time in his life, and I can't get used to it. It's just another thing that's out of sorts. Coming home to a place I don't quite recognize, as if waking up in an alternate reality where everything is familiar but not. Just a little off-center. I guess I've changed too. Wanted to grab you for a minute, he says, as we duck away from the somber festivities. He can't keep his hands off his tie or from tugging at the collar of his shirt, loosening it, then seemingly talking himself into straightening and tightening it again, like he feels guilty about it. Look, I know there isn't a great time to bring this up, so I just gotta ask. What's going on? Well, I wanted to see if you might be planning to stick around for a while. Shit. I don't know, Dad. I hadn't given it much thought. I didn't expect to get cornered so soon. Figured I'd have time, maybe a couple days, to see how things went and decide then. I left Avalon Bay a year ago for a reason, and would have preferred to stay gone if not for the circumstances. I have a life back in Charleston, a job, an apartment, Amazon.